Have you ever felt like you don't belong, or that you're standing in the shadow of your own potential? I'm Carol Talbot, the creator and founder of the Possibility Hub, and in Messages That Matter, I'm in conversation with David Gross as he shares wisdom and insights for your growth. Hello, David. I'm excited about today's conversation because it's about standing in your power, standing in your light, being who you truly are. And if you think about it, it's challenging to be other people, and yet we spend so much of our time emulating others rather than being truly who we are.
That's exactly my experience, right? And just to speak to because we always talk about energy and law of alignment and all of that, my life has really changed in the last couple of months because I have stepped into three things. I've set great intention. My expectation is high, a couple of octaves up from middle C. So I'm expecting more to show up. I'm not holding on to fear, or I haven't been holding on to any fear or any self-judgment. And I've been allowing opportunities to show up, and they're showing up on a daily basis, which is quite remarkable. And now these opportunities that are coming to me are also offering me the opportunity to stand in my light and to share my work. And what I've realized is I still have patterns of limiting beliefs. Well, yes, limiting beliefs, but patterns of fear of judgment, right? Which so many of us carry. So I still had some of those going on up until a couple of months ago, even though I'm 60. Come on, get out of my head is what I want to say, right? The backseat driver who's got the fear and the doubt kind of chatter over my back is still kind of rather active, or was really active. What shifted for me was my willingness to stand in my light, which means coming out from the shadows of what I do, coming out from the shadows because it was safe. It was easy to be there, but I was uncomfortable. And as safe as, here's where the psychology is so interesting to me. And we talked earlier about what it means to go to a place of vulnerability and kind of go deeper into what does this really mean here? It's really astounding to me to recognize that when I was living my life in the shadows of my potential, not willing to kind of live my light as it were, yes, it was safer, pardon me, it felt safer, but I never felt like I belonged there. There was something inside me that said, you got to be over here on this stage, in this light, as it were. I'm a teacher for 37 years. So in this classroom, on this stage, in this light, it was safe to be in the shadows, but I knew that I didn't belong there. So it was me, that self-reflection, it was me reflecting on, and this is so in the times, in the moment, poignant for right now. It was me accepting that given the times that we've just come through for so many of us in this world right now, it was time for me. And I was getting signs left, right, and center. Every time I'd put on a YouTube video, someone would be talking about, you got to stand up, you got to get out there, you got to share your messages. It's like, okay, I get it. But still the inside little butterflies of, oh man, really? It was only when I accepted, oh, here we go. I accepted and had gratitude for the opportunities that were being shared with me so that I could step into them. Because before I was holding myself back. And when I started to see opportunities to stand in them, not only for what I was creating, but for how I can support other people, that shifted everything within me.
So if you think about it, it's really challenging to be holding yourself in the shadows and not being able to be truly who you are.
It was so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
Always looking at other people, and there's that, well, I could do that, yet you don't. And I'm reminded of, the liberation that comes when you are truly being who you are without worry, without fear of being judged. And some people knowing that some people will love you, some people will hate you. So it reminds me of the story of David Icke, and I'm sure you've heard of David Icke.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And he's really quite prominent at the moment and known as a conspiracy theorist. But what some people may not know is that in England, he was quite a famous television presenter, a sports commentator, and very good at it. And through a number of experiences, his life took a massive shift and change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he appeared on a talk show, and as a result of that, he got ridiculed mercilessly. I mean, mercilessly. And he said that before, his children had been very popular at school, but his children also got the brunt of it. He got the brunt of it, and his wife got the brunt of it as well.
Wow.
But what he says now is, and many people, even to this day, still don't like him, and he's very outspoken. But he says, I don't care. I have a message. I need to get this out. And he always talks about there's a liberation that comes when you are speaking your truth and being truly who you are. And so he says, I don't regret all the ridicule, because he said, it made me resilient and even stronger in who I am, because it doesn't matter what other people say or think. I know who I am. And very few people, David, can say, I know who I am, and I can stand in that power, I can stand in that truth, and it doesn't matter what other people say or think. I'm ready to be my true, authentic self.
Yes.
That takes courage to speak your truth and to stand up and stand out in your light. So congratulations. If that's where the world has brought you to that place now where you can do that.
I'm also seeing my life now from a higher perspective. And I can't say that it's new to me, but I am embracing just language that I actually use this language in my everyday kind of conversation. I'm embracing what I now have come to understand as, some would call it soul path, soul purpose, however you want to term it. I need to step out. I need to step up, as do you, as do many who watch your videos and connect with you, because we too are those that others need to see us standing in our light, so they can muster up, as I have done, the courage to stand in theirs as well. We need this now.
So was there a pivotal moment, David, when you said, I'm done with that fear, I'm going for it? Was there a pivotal, or did you just keep getting these messages to the point
there were two.
You couldn't deny it?
There were two pivotal moments that come to mind instantly. Number one was, I was watching a video of Dolores Cannon and her work, and it was one statement that she made. And I was reflecting in the context of my life and something that a relationship and situations and circumstances that I was holding on to that really just took me to the ground, just cut me off at the knees. And I was feeling a lot of anger, a lot of pain, a lot of guilt, all of those wonderful emotions. And was thinking, as a nurturer that I am, it was my responsibility, or I was actually holding guilt for not taking responsibility to make things better in this relationship, family-based relationship. Dolores Cannon's statement was, don't create any new karma. It's like, oh no, okay, let me unravel that one here. So I realized that my belief that I had to re-engage and make things better, because that's what I do, or that's what I did, that was pivotal, because I realized, oh, I'm actually creating more karma now. And it's kind of tidy right now. And actually this goes into the whole gratitude part there too. When I became grateful for the experience, realizing it was not easy, it was really hard stuff to go through. But I've learned so much about myself, and I've learned to value myself in ways that I wouldn't have before. When I now hold the gratitude for that experience, there's nothing to forgive, and there's no need to go back and try to make things better, because it's done, we're good, it's all good from my perspective. So that was one. And the second one, which is quite interesting. So 12 years have passed since my mom passed. And 12 years times 12 months is 144. So my last name is Gross, but if you'd say it as Gross, 12 by 12 is a gross, right? In the language. So I was thinking, okay, why is it taking me 12 years to step out into my light here? And the answer was, I needed to go around 12 cycles around that sun, 12 months around that sun, to clear up a whole bunch of stuff that was going on in other realms that I didn't even know was going on there. I needed the time to heal, to process, and to kind of come back to where I started, as it were, in that whole solar cycle, or the cosmic cycle there of the 12 by 12. And it was almost a rebirthing that happened like to the day of 12 years, 12 months in each year after my mom passed, that the awakening came as like, okay, that work is done. I'm ready.
And that brings us around to self-acceptance, because if you can't accept yourself or acknowledge your light and your power and what you gift to the world, and you're in fear, then that's what you're projecting out to the world. And if you can't accept yourself, then you cannot expect other people to accept you.
Yes.
So it's once you come to accept and acknowledge who you are, once you've cleared all the things around you, it's a little bit like looking for a needle in a haystack. If you're looking for a needle in a haystack, it's going to take you a long, long time. If you get rid of the hay, what's left? The needle.
There you go. And what, yes.
When you get rid of all the hay around you, there you are.
It is. And one deeper emotion for me that was also interwoven with that experience was when I was kind of coming through the tunnel, as it were, seeing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, however you want to view that one in your life, I felt guilty for not getting there faster. And it was only when I had that recollection or the recognition of, oh my goodness, 12 years and 12 months and 144 happens to be my name, go figure. Okay, I don't hold any angst, any anguish, any blame, nothing, any shame, none of that. Okay, that work is done. It was a black to white shift of that which didn't feel so good into no, stepping out from the shadows, ready to do the work. And also there's a phrase that someone used years ago, and I remember it so clearly because it was very impactful at the time. Although this is very important, it was impactful. It just hit me in the heart, hit me in the gut with how powerful it was, but yet I wasn't ready to do anything with it. And it's four statements talking about standing in your light. Some will get it, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. And I knew some will get it because some had. Some won't. I had that experience too. So what? No, I always felt that they had, like, come on, you got to get it. But the someone's waiting part is the part that I forgot. I had forgotten that there is someone who's waiting to hear the messages that you have to share, that I have to share, that others have to share. And that collectively is also raising us in vibration.
Wonderful. And what a wonderful point to finish off, that somebody is waiting to hear your message.
Yes.
Thank you, David.
My pleasure.